Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Next Level, your local home for all things video games and gaming news. I'm your host, Eddie the Fishman Fisher, and today we are joined by Mark Zimmerman.
Hello, hello.
Look at that, I changed his camera on him.
Hello, hello.
And of
How's it
course,
going?
let's see if I get it correct here. It's Ann. She's back.
Hey-o.
Brandon's still out lollygagging around the world of Disney and
eating all kinds of food.
Oh my
Looks
gosh,
so
those
good.
pictures. He's
My
gonna be
goodness.
like the next, what do they call those people that take
Guy
pictures of
Fieri.
food?
Or yeah, foodie.
Foodie.
Call him
Foodie
Guy
people.
Fieri. Might be a little mean.
Guy Fieri.
I thought you were going to say he'd be on The Biggest Loser when he gets back. All the food he ate or something like that. So.
Oh my gosh, it looks like he's
Jeez.
lost weight.
He's doing good. He's doing well.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I could eat all that food and lose
I don't know,
weight.
man. A week in Disney World. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We were there for like 4 days. And it was like, it's time to go.
I would have been there for like 2 and would have been like, yeah, I guess I'm good. I did everything. Well, on today's show, we're going to talk about some PS4 crossplay, some free games, some old games. But first, holy cow, I feel like we exhausted so many like interesting life conversation before this, but it's probably good it's not on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some things that are best left unsaid for the show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, Mark, how are you doing?
No,
You've
not
had
too
a
bad.
busy week.
Nothing a week of sleep wouldn't cure, but we'll be all right. So
That's how I'm feeling. I know it's partially because it's a little bit of. I just realized I've been. I'm already messing it up. I
Yeah.
can see it. I'm
It's
putting
okay.
the camera on the wrong
It's
person.
okay.
No, I just been feeling drowsy all week, and then every day at the bank has been incredibly slow. So I just want to sleep forever.
Yeah.
It's
I just
terrible.
need to get past Tuesday, and then we'll still have some hurdles to cross or go over, but we'll be okay. So
Good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like those visits come along, and they're the most stressful thing in the world. They happen. They're not as bad as you think, and then it's over, and it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like they're over, and it's like, well,
I
we
know.
made it. We're still alive.
It's
You'll
just-
probably get some after.
I just don't want to deal with it.
That's fair.
I just don't want to deal with it. It's not.
You'll be fine. You always over stress about
I
that
know.
stuff.
We
I
all
know.
did.
It'll be okay.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay. That's for a different day, though. So
I was like I always felt like store support when I worked. Like, Mark, it's gonna be okay. We'll be okay. We're gonna make it.
there were a few times where I'm glad you were around because I was ready to like either kill somebody or cry or something. So good support
like-
system, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
remember when I'd be like, do you need to go sit in the back for a minute? Like,
Go
I
sit in the
got
corner.
this. You need a break, Mark? I got this under control.
Oh. But yeah, lots going on. So busy as always.
Lots
Work
good.
and the kids and Sarah's
Yeah,
got
that's
some stuff cooking, so we'll see what's going on. So.
She running like another 10 marathons, or
No, she ran the 5K last weekend. The Old Boys
Yeah.
in Grand Haven. She did the 5K, and then she ran the half marathon after that.
oh, jeez.
So
She is a machine.
she got first place for
That's
the females.
awesome. Good for
Yeah.
her. Congrats.
Bionic
Yeah.
woman over there.
Yeah. So she's got some life changes coming up, hopefully. So we'll see what happens. But
The way you
Never
keep
a dull
saying
moment,
these things, I'm just
so-
like, what's
Never
going
a
on
dull
with,
moment,
with his
so.
wife here? Life
oh,
changes.
nothing bad at all.
Secret projects
it's
happening.
Good stuff. It's good stuff.
Mark
it's good
looked
stuff,
at her
but-
and she's pregnant again.
Yeah, no. Oh gosh, no.
10 more kids. Bring them on.
Every time she tells me like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?" or "I have a surprise," or I'm like, "Please, no."
Well, I think she learned with Naomi not to surprise you like that
Yeah,
when she
yeah.
put Ben in the "I'm a big brother"
Oh yeah,
shirt.
yep. She's done some creative stuff for sure, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
So
which always
did.
seemed like it had sweet intentions.
It
but
does.
when
It
you
is.
came in the
It
next
is.
day, I
It
was
is.
like,
but yeah, no, finished up Tomb Raider.
How do you
So I
feel
did
about the ending that they gave you instead of the one they should have given you?
The one that they give you is actually a variation of the one. It's the
Oh.
same. It's the same setting and the same. It's partially the same scene. Just
Okay.
that letter is like cut out, and they show like a picture of her. It's she must have she drew it when she was a kid.
Okay.
It's on the wall, and they pan on that for a little while, but it was good.
So like, what
It was
did
really
they
good.
cut from it? I guess
They cut out the part where, because like in the original one, they swing down to the desk, and it shows the letter on the desk from Natla.
Okay.
And then in this one, she has a butler, because the butler comes in like, "Oh, your tea's ready, Miss Croft," and she's like, "Lovely," and then it cuts from that to the wall, where the hand drawn picture that she did as a kid, and so it
kind of erases the connection between the games.
It does.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, she had a butler in the original PC version that I played.
Yeah, the original Tomb Raider. Yeah, and that's who the butler we assume is.
Mm-hmm.
But the letter, because it's from Natla, who's the main protagonist or antagonist in the first game,
right?
And they took that out. So
but
weird. There's a part though too, like kind of toward maybe before the last major section. And I think I sent you a text about that, like, "Oh my gosh, she just snapped! This is amazing."
Oh yeah,
There's this
I'm
part. There's this
that.
part where maybe I'm overhyping it, but there's this part where it's just, "Holy cow, yes, let's go!" And then it just falls flat. Like they don't go back to it again at all.
That's a bummer.
Like they don't channel that, like energy, I guess you could say, because there's something at that point, up to that point, that's actually really driving her, and then it fixes itself more or less. But I was very happy with it. I think this is my favorite one of the three.
Okay,
that's
really
good. Really good. So,
good.
But there's a bug that is preventing the completionist trophy from popping.
Oh, no.
Just like in Rise.
Oh no.
Same thing again. It was the same problem in Rise of the Tomb Raider, and they don't go back and like retroactively give back the trophy.
Oh no.
So if you get like all the 100% and you don't get the trophy, and they patch it, you have to go back and do it all over again to get the
So
trophy.
basically, you'd want to get like.
So what I'm gonna probably
if you have 100 of them, get 99 and wait for the patch.
I'll leave like 2 or 3 behind,
right,
and just wait for the patch and then get
Jeez,
it.
Man.
But again, it's like the same exact trophy that was bugged before is now bugged again.
Weird.
A different developer too. Like, what is going on?
Well, that's like when I was last on the podcast when I was talking, we were talking Inquisition.
Yeah.
With
the dragons.
The dragon trophy bug. That
drives me crazy because usually that's
all I had to say about that.
Because usually I don't find out about it until after, like why didn't I get a trophy for this? And you go research it, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe.
Are you kidding me right now? Like seriously? Oh, it's the worst.
So did you have time to like rock anything else, or was this all Tomb Raider for you?
Tomb Raider, and there's the last like week I've gone home and like gone to bed.
That's
so tired.
That's kind of how I felt.
I'm so tired.
For the most part. It's we're in the
so
interim of everything else, so
yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I actually read a book the other night too. Like,
what?
It's reading
a whole book?
No, it's part of a book. So
what book did you read?
It's the book. What's it called? All Console Wars. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's about the war, if you will, between Sega and Nintendo. It's really, really, really good.
Is that the one that ends in the like, and then the Super Nintendo at end of chapter or end of book?
No, that's start over or game over or press start. I think it is.
No, I think it's game over. I think game over is the one I read.
It's the one with Mario on the cover of the wing cap.
That's the one you're reading?
No, that's the one where I think it says, because the one it's mainly all about the NES and whatnot.
Yeah, so the one I read was it talked about how Atari had the crash, Nintendo bought the Chuck E. Cheeses, and it was like their legacy of Hanafunu cards and all that kind of stuff.
That's press start. Yeah,
I didn't know. I mean, they probably all are, but I know I didn't read one called Press Start. I thought it was Game Over or
Game Over. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
But no, there's
so many of them.
It basically starts off with the Tom Kalinske, who ran Sega, who's president of Sega. He was at Mattel for a long time, and he went on vacation, and I forget his name. The president of Sega Japan flew to Hawaii to find Tom.
Wow.
And basically on the beach is like, hey, da-da-da-da, and then it talks about the whole thing, how Tom just basically just took Sega to war with Nintendo, took all their market share, and it's really, really good book. So
because the one I read was it was more about like here's like Nintendo's history up to the point where Sega was like, hey, we have to like it was like middle of the book when they got to the Sega thing versus Nintendo, and I think it wrapped up around like and then the Super Nintendo came out and squashed everything, so whatever. Not really, but it should have because it's the best.
So yeah, I read. I'm always telling my kids to read, and I never read, so it was kind of it was nice to actually read something. So
I still have like 2 chapters left in that Splinter Cell book. I just need to finish it and stop being dumb. It's not a great book, but it's at this point, it's like you watched all the movie and the twist happened. You're like, I guess I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need the revelation of it.
Yeah, it is. It's game over. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But the wing cap
that's game over.
Okay, because the cover that I had didn't. I think it just
Unless
had the
it was
title.
like a different
I think it was a different print.
like
is
a
all.
print or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Nothing else for you. No other fun games. Yeah, see, I don't remember the wing cap on that. That's weird.
That's the one.
Oh.
That's the one. I think that's the one you're thinking of. I'm pretty sure.
You can show. You can even show it to your camera now.
Yeah,
Look
look at that. Yeah, read it. Very good.
Fancy.
I've got the fancy hardcover because I bought it when it came out.
Yeah.
I haven't finished it yet, but you know.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Whatever. But no, I'm probably gonna go back into Spider-Man and get that finished up.
Yeah.
Before. I got 25 days to finish that up.
Is
so-
it 25 days and then it's Red Dead?
Mhm.
Okay. See, I've got like a
Yeah.
week and then it's Mega Man. Because and that'll take like a 2 days or something.
Mega Man
I'm sure.
11?
Yeah.
That's Tuesday.
Oh, so I don't even have a week.
Nope.
I got a couple days. I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
Tuesday it's Forza, the basic Forza.
Ooh, yeah, Forza
And
Horizon.
then the
I'll have
Assassin's
that.
Creed Gold Edition, and then Friday is the basic Assassin's Creed, and then also Mario Party. So,
I won't get Mario Party
no,
because I don't have anyone to play it with anymore. Like everyone I know
Well,
that
Lucas would probably play it, wouldn't he?
maybe. I mean, he
I'm
would. He'll play
thinking about
any
it.
game.
I mean, I think the kids might actually, because they want to play Mario Kart all the time.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's 4-player. We all get a controller. And
Yeah, absolutely.
we might have some fun with that. We'll see. But
For me, it was like the guy I used to play it with all the time, and his I think maybe I told the story on here before, but his mom. So we lived in the garage, and I didn't live there. He lived in the garage, and I was over there all the time. But he, had a couple beds. He had it was basically a mini house that we made that garage into.
Yeah.
And his mom would call us from the phone on the inside of the house to the garage and be like, "Hey, we playing Mario Party? I'm popping popcorn." And so we'd play Mario Party all the time. And
awesome.
so we played a ton there. We had a Mario Party once. It was Montague versus Whitehall.
Ooh,
Wow.
Yeah,
hey.
it was very intense.
I bet.
I tried to get a bunch of stuff together. I tried because we had this guy from Montague who I've never known anyone to know more about Star Wars in my life. This dude was basically glazed over, drunk, falling over, and he looks at my shirt and goes, "That's not the right design at all. That's not right." So I was like, "This guy," and then everyone's like, "No, this guy." And I was like, "Well, Montague versus Whitehall. Let's do this, and we're gonna start with the Mario Party." So we had 4 GameCubes hooked up or something. So I had a lot of people I used to play Mario Party with, and now all of them don't live here. And the other one I'd play Mario Party with was Doug, and I don't think I've ever actually played Mario Party with him. I just had to prove to him that he is not the fastest tapper in the West. No one beats me. All right. Slam my fist down.
Yeah. Make it official.
That's right. All right. Well, Anne, sweet. What did I call you last time? B-Dog? Annie Dog?
Oh yeah, A-Dog, I think.
A-Dog.
A-Dog, not Adolf.
Yeah, I don't.
think
Not
that's
Adolf.
what- yeah.
No, not that.
Is that what
The
Jeremy
road,
said?
the road dog.
Yeah, the road dog, Jesse James. How about you? How have you been?
Good. It's been similar week,
Yeah?
I was on a 6-day streak at the hospital, and it's been
That's what
it's
I'm
been
on right
a
now.
slow week.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's
last
been
night
6
picked
weeks
up.
since you looked at me. Jumped inside my head, said I'm crazy. I don't know the words to any of those songs.
6 days, isn't it?
I don't know.
Anyway, continue.
But yeah, so it's just that's kind of the nice thing about working in the hospital when it's slow. And I get to sit there and I read books all the time.
There you go.
So yeah, people walk in, they see me reading the book, and they're like, "Oh, slow night." Like, we don't say
That's a good thing. If it's slow at the hospital, no one's dying.
Yeah.
Right?
So
You
it's
can't
just,
play out on your phone or anything, or you can't.
I mean, I check my phone every now and again, but it's pretty policy to not have
Yeah.
your phone out. But what do you do? I only have so much work I can do.
It's
Yeah.
also policy
I'm
at GameStop, and nobody follows it.
Sitting there twiddling my thumbs, because it's not like working at GameStop or working in the bakery where
Yeah.
if I don't have anything else to do, I can make busy work.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
literally I have
Yeah.
nothing to
Yeah.
do. So
Oh, that
Yeah,
sounds so
there's-
wonderful.
there's three
There's that
words
daydreaming
you
over
don't
here.
say when you walk into an ER is quiet, slow, and what's the other one? I don't remember. But quiet and slow are at least two words you don't say to us because we will give you the evil
Yeah.
eye. Because the moment you walk away, the bus will unload,
Yeah.
and it's especially around full moon, it gets real weird.
Oh, yeah.
So, but no, it finally picked up last night, which was good. But yeah, I'm the same. I'm just ready for a day off.
Yep.
It's been nice.
Take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarah's always saying, I took a nap today, and I took a nap yesterday, too. And
just a way to rub it in.
Eddie took a nap today. Eddie took a nap today.
I did take
Everybody's
a nap
taking
today, and
naps.
I needed it because, like, I just wasn't in the greatest mood. And my kids were driving me nuts, and my wife's driving me nuts. Everyone was driving me nuts. And I'm sure most of it was probably just my poor attitude. But I also, like, Sarah and I, we have not gone out and done anything for ourselves in weeks. Like, we haven't had any time together. It's terrible, yeah.
You've got
really
to.
does.
Even going, like, I was before the show, going out last night with Sarah. We just went to dinner. It was like an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops.
Yeah.
And
And we need
amazing.
that. Absolutely.
Even just, perfect.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I always like that one meme I see on Facebook pop up every now and again. It's like a pie chart, and it's like when you go out with your significant other and what you talk about at dinner, and it's like majority
always
of
kids.
shit talking to kids.
Yeah, working kids, pretty much.
Like, oh, I thought that was funny. I was like, yep, that would be me.
That's us. So I mean, but still, it's nice to get away. So.
I don't have anybody to go out to dinner with. So,
So if everyone's listening,
there
Ann's
you go.
number is 555.
Let's make a connection.
single mom life I'm enjoying.
Next show, we're
right.
gonna have a curtain set up here.
No,
Put you in a stool of
Please,
3
no.
bachelors behind the curtain. I'll read questions, and you gotta pick somebody.
No, the last thing I need to do is pick somebody based on their voice. I've
Oh,
already
wait.
had
You know what's going to be the best
horrid
part?
luck.
This is one voice I'll hear. Oh, hey, Ann.
I'm like, no. He works at the Grand Haven Wesco.
Oh, boy.
And some of the EMTs go there and hang out, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like.
And they're like, hey, have you heard of this sweet guy?
Yeah.
He's like the best. You got to
Oh, yeah.
meet him.
Is that who I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay.
One
Oh,
of them was teasing me. He's like, you want me to tell Philly you say hi? I'm like, please don't. Don't tell him I work here.
Hi, Annie.
Oh my gosh.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, I got a dog.
Yeah?
I got a new puppy.
What kind
What kind of dog did you get?
She was a rescue.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
we're not really sure what she is. She kind of looks like an Australian Shepherd, kind of looks like a collie. So
For some reason, I thought you were going to say cow, and I was like, that's a weird mix.
I think you need permits for that in Grand Haven. So
Right, yeah.
well, you need permit for dog too.
yeah, Grand Haven needs a
So-
permit for everything.
Oh yeah, so I gotta Monday. I gotta go get all the official stuff because I got her on Saturday and everything's closed on Saturdays.
yeah.
And Sundays, so I have to do all my dog stuff on tomorrow, which will be fine because I have the day off. So
Nice.
No problem for the A-dog.
Yeah.
Jeez.
When you
I'm
guys gonna
sorry.
get a new dog?
We looked, actually.
Did you?
We drove out to... I thought it was just on the way. Apparently it wasn't. We drove all the way out to this apple orchard. It was like an hour and a half drive. And then we went back to Holland for like a birthday party. And oh my goodness, I got to tell you about that. But before that, we stopped at the Humane Society to check out some dogs. And it's weird because it feels like now you have to do an application and they try to fit you with a dog.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think that's lame. I just want to go in there and pick a dog and say, that's the one I like. And I'll figure it out. Put me on the dog.
Yeah, Sarah wants another dog, so she wants to get a what is it now? What, like the little wiener dogs? What are those called?
Oh, Dachshunds, I
Dachshund.
think.
Yeah, she wants a dachshund.
Yeah.
Apparently, part of her upgrading my phone as a surprise, her MO was another dog.
To get a dog.
Yeah.
Hey, I bought you
so-
this really expensive phone.
And the kids want another dog, and like you guys don't
I've
take
heard
care of or play with
dachshunds,
a
like,
dog you have now, because she had
bark a
dachshunds.
lot. Oh.
She had dachshunds growing up, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I don't know. They're all trying to woo me into another dog, and it's like, they really need another dog. I don't know. I don't know.
So did you play anything sweet?
I got more into Batman VR, which
Nice.
has been
Okay.
so much fun.
Yeah.
And then of
Awesome.
course, like, I got on really bad Beat Saber fever, so I've been
Is that out now?
no,
then
it's not on PS4. It's
Okay.
just for PC right now. So there's like people streaming it on Twitch,
Okay.
which I I've been real bad. I've been watching way too much Twitch. That's actually what I do now when I'm at work. Like I'll have like.
That's what my buddy does. Like he works. He's like a tech guy. It's like on call. I don't know if it's on call or whatever you call it. But he was hanging out at my house, and he's just like wiggles his finger on the mouse pad to make sure his screen's up and no one's trying to get a hold of him. He goes, I guess no, we can keep playing. I'm like, what kind of job is this?
Yeah, like I watch his username is Cutie Pop. He does like the whole like he gets paid to play Beat Saber, and he does the mixed reality with that Live app that you can download real quick. It's so cool. Like he took a picture of his room for the chat room to kind of see his setup, and he's just got like green sheets.
Okay.
And then the foam puzzle pieces that you can put on the floor, those are green. Yeah. So all it does is it just takes that, works it like a green screen. That's so cool. Yeah. Huh. So
when is that coming out on PS4?
There's no date yet.
Really?
Yeah, it's just PC right now, and I'm just like, would it be worth it to like buy all this stuff? But
well, I mean, I put it in the news here.
I know, I saw that.
But there is an option. Apparently, there's an Oculus all-in-one VR gaming headset called Oculus Quest.
Yep.
I didn't see what it was, but maybe you know better than I.
I'm not really sure on the specs of it, but from what I've heard from other people on the stream was that it's basically like a pretty solid upgrade.
Okay.
From the Rift, and
it's all like you don't have to have a computer for it, right? So it's like just
it's all like it's like all just self-contained.
Wireless and everything.
Oh, that's cool. Oh wow.
From what I've heard, it's because like there were a couple of bugs out for when the Rift originally came out, like with the tracking a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
But they patched that, and then a lot of people even still say like if you're gonna invest in a VR headset, you get the Rift.
Right.
You know, there's a couple of streamers that I watch that have the other more popular one. It's not Logitech.
HTC.
Yeah.
We actually
Vive.
We sell that in the store now.
I'll tell you what, I appreciate this is such a stupid thing, but I'm glad that you're calling it the Rift because everyone calls it the Oculus. That'd be like calling my PlayStation the Sony.
Yeah.
You know, like it's, I don't know.
That, yeah. So, no, real. That's when you can tell when a person knows what they're talking about.
I mean, Oculus sounds cool and all, but
yeah, but I mean, like you said, it's like, so I was playing my Sony the other day. Like, really? Which one?
I was playing my
Nintendo.
I was playing my my what are they? My Walkman. You know, just jamming on some tunes.
Yeah. So. No, I think the Quest is gonna be a really cool up and coming headset when it comes to VR. I'm keeping my fingers crossed with how Sony is gonna launch this. Curious about a price point, and
that's what I was gonna ask. Is like how much is this gonna be? So
so it'll be interesting to see. You know, I think we're all on the same boat. Like, there's just some things we like to kind of sit and see how it goes before we dive in.
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
it's kind of one of those where I'm just like, think I want to wait and see, you know, because everything's got their bugs when they first come out, you know. As much as they want a beta test beforehand, like, you can't get everything. So I think I'll wait for it to be out on the market before I actually seriously consider like maybe investing. But
that's actually really cool. That's all just self-contained because we've got a lot of people that come into the store and they openly like, oh, I want to get a Rift or I want to get a Vive, you know, but I don't have the PC for it.
Yeah,
but you have to have a pretty nice one too.
If they can just buy something out of the box and just have it work with that experience, that's actually really cool. That might really open up that more mass market, I guess, in a way. So
for sure.
Yeah, oh, actually,
cool.
Here, the Oculus Quest is scheduled to release in spring for $400.
Oh,
that's not bad.
Wow,
that's a good price.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's an all contained.
What's the?
There's a trailer for
what's
it.
What's the resolution of it? Does it say?
It does not say. The first dramatized introduction to the concept is funny in how hard Facebook goes to avoid referring copyrighted stuff. Yeah. More detail. I'd have to watch this video, I guess. I didn't realize. So, Oculus has only named a few of the 50 launch titles they expect to release They include Shooter Robo Recall, The Climb, and Moss. So that's cool.
Yeah.
The Beat Saber will also be on the docket. So this doesn't have every... It's weird. It doesn't have every game for it. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
How far are you in Batman?
I was able to finish off the first, like, chapter or whatever with Joker.
Okay.
And that...
The first chapter, or you mean like
that,
the whole game?
No, not the whole game.
Okay.
Like that first like set of where it mainly focuses on like the introduction into it and kind of like that when Robin's trapped in that sewer and Killer Croc comes flying out of freaking water and about peed myself. Oh my gosh, like because I'm still getting used to living alone.
Yeah. Right.
And that's mildly terrifying when you have a headset on and you can't see anything.
That was the scariest part about doing Resident Evil 7. As I was down
have
here.
Have you played that yet?
Oh,
yeah.
it's terrifying.
Oh my gosh.
I was telling Eddie last time I was on, like, there was one point in time I was like in the fetal position. Like, I don't want to play this game anymore just because, like, I get that feeling that somebody's right up behind me, and like, I'm like, if something touches me, like
there's someone in your house right now.
Yeah,
they're right there.
Like I even like pulled my headset up, and I'm like, are my doors
I've
all
done that
locked?
a few times. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are my curtains drawn? Okay. If the cat comes up behind me and touches me,
you're dead.
Yeah,
you'll have a heart attack and you're dead right there.
I might kill the cat in the process.
That's one of those games I wish I actually would have played it first in VR.
Yeah.
Because going through the first time, just regular game-wise, then you played it a second time, you know what's coming, what to expect.
Yeah.
Right.
And some of those moments I think would have been much more impactful.
It absolutely
in
was.
VR,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the first time, like even just the beginning of that game where you see your lady and she's crawling up those stairs.
Oh
like
my gosh.
I did that in VR.
Oh.
I did the whole first like that, because I got sick. I mentioned it, but like that moment, it took me a minute to just like staring at the wall, just like in the game, like staring at the wall. It's like I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I know she's gonna be right there.
Yeah.
I know she's gonna be right there. I don't want to do this, man.
You gotta take like
good.
deep breaths and like be like, all right, like jazz yourself up. Like we're gonna do this. But yeah, even like Batman got me a few times because I knew it was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna get a jump scare from Killer Croc, and sure enough, it freaking happened. But I just love how immersive that game is.
Yeah,
it's still I think the best. Besides Resident Evil 7, it's still the best showcase.
Oh,
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
It's something that's easy for someone to jump in and know what you do with your hands, and it doesn't do any of the stuff that you'd be like, well, in this one you might want to turn this option off for motion sickness or do this or do that. It's like, nah, just jump in, be Batman.
Yeah, like it's really great, and I remember that one part with Robin was super intense because I'm just like in my living room like, no, like screaming at the top of my lungs.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna walk by and think something's real bad going on.
I was straight up just talking to Robin. Like when I did that, I was like, fine, just hand it to me, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why am I talking to this guy out loud? It doesn't make any sense.
That's how immersive it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really
but
is.
the end to that though was really good. So
So you haven't
I haven't had
that's
a
the
chance
last thing
to-
you did was the Killer Croc stuff.
she's almost done that.
Like I
You're
got
pretty
all the way
close.
through the sewer where it's got the 3 doors and you peer in through all of them, and the puppet in the middle one, and then
Yeah, that's cool.
when the one on the right had Joker in it, and that's what got me because I just after going
'Cause he was
through
right
the
there,
center,
yeah.
the left one, I was like, oh no, bag, and I pulled it, I was like, mother.
So you're like a minute away from
you're
finishing
like
that
there.
game.
Oh yeah, I finished it. Was that the whole game?
Yeah, that's
When
what I
you're-
was
when you're in
asking
the-
is
in
like
the room
that's
and
Yeah,
the
and
that's
it
the whole
keeps
thing.
closing
Yeah,
in on
that's
you,
it.
and I
You're
was like
done.
having a panic attack
Yeah.
because
I love the
I
ending to
don't
that thing.
I don't want to
It's
say
really
that
good.
like I have claustrophobia, but
No,
like it kind of made me feel claustrophobic.
Yeah, well,
like intensely.
and the whole thing is like this psychedelic we're messing with you thing. Like you
Yeah.
turn around like I don't think this thing was this close to me, right? And then you turn around like what is this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was
like
super
freaked
cool.
me out because then they have like all the ha-has all over the walls, and like I was kind of starting to have a little bit of a panic attack because I didn't know what else to expect, and then you turn around and like you're Joker in the mirror, and it's like, oh.
It's awesome.
That was the whole game, though. I thought there was like more
No,
chapters.
gosh, we wish.
Oh.
We all wish there was.
That part though,
there's more you can do, but
okay,
like
that's
Joker
probably
challenge,
what I
challenge.
saw.
The Riddler challenges and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Riddler challenge.
Yeah.
I thought,
but that part though in the mirror where you can actually like you move
Yeah,
and like you see it. I sat there for like probably 10 minutes like just moving around in the mirror.
That's what I was doing.
Like, this is
too.
so
I was
cool.
Just like,
Yeah. Yep.
And it's like the Spider-Man one. I really wish I would have got that on camera. I'm sorry. I mean, you can feel free to do it again. Do
that's
all
okay.
We'll
save the audience.
So, no, like the free Spider-Man download for Homecoming was mimicking that first moment in Batman where you put the cowl on, except you put a mask on.
Yeah.
And then you just like shoot webs at targets.
That's neat, though.
I was like, it's neat, but I was like, at the very end, you get this like, okay, you swing once. And it's like, wouldn't this be great?
Yeah. Oh, that.
Wouldn't this be the best thing I would do for every day?
Yeah.
Like, if I could just web swing in VR, I would be the happiest guy ever.
That'd be pretty intense.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
If you're actually like I mean, you wouldn't be on the ground obviously, but in the game, you'd feel like you were.
But
if you like sat down or something, it'd probably feel pretty real.
Even just if I could just take the
in a
move
hammock?
controller,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
just like shoot one hand out and then shoot another hand out. Like that would be super freaking fun. Yeah. And I know Jeremy mentioned, I always forget the name of it, but there's a game that added like these grappling hooks. It's kind of like web slinging, but I don't know. I don't want to. That's my problem with VR. I want to try some stuff, and I know this is why they do it. I want to try some stuff before I buy it because it's like I don't want to like spend $10 on something just to try this mechanic.
Yeah.
But that's the reason they want us to buy it because if you, like, I feel like if I downloaded a demo for half those games, I wouldn't ever buy them because I just want to see like, oh, how's this work in VR?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But no, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So.
Have you tried like Moss at all or anything?
No,
Moss
not
was
yet.
cool.
I've heard that's really good.
Moss is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll
'Cause
have to try that one then.
Man.
Moss is a game where it's like it's an action platformer kind of. You're controlling like a mouse, like with the controller, but you are an entity watching like over the scene, and like you can move the DualShock to move stuff for him or like hit an enemy so he can hit it with a sword or whatever. But they do some neat things with it. It's almost like you're in the world of a storybook tale that you're playing at the same time.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the demo, a snake comes out. And you're like, oh man, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because every night, like if I have a free night when Luna's off with her dad, I'll try and like at least get the VR headset on, like
Play
see
Super
what
Hot.
I can play. Yeah.
That's what you gotta do.
Okay.
Super Hot it's so good.
That was on sale for $10 and I missed it.
Oh.
The VR one? Oh man, yeah, you should have got it.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's usually what is it like 20 normally?
25, I think, isn't it?
25, yeah, I think you're right.
Because I think it was 20 standard and then 25 on VR, or was it 15 and 25?
I think you're right. I think it's 2025, yeah. I really want to play that Firewall still, and nowhere has it for rent. And I don't want to spend $40 to see if I want to get it or not, but I've heard it's really good, and I like Rainbow Six a lot. And I'm like, well, it's just Rainbow Six in VR, so I want to do that. So
send me a text, remind me, because I'll forget otherwise. I'll just
like bring it over.
I'll check it out or something. Yeah.
We'll have to do that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Anything else for you though?
Not really.
Okay.
Just
I got a few things. Trying to survive over there. So I downloaded Dragalia Lost, which is Nintendo's new mobile game. It's free.
Oh yeah.
It's got microtransactions, I think, for something. I'm sure for some like speed up the time stuff or whatever. But it's kind of neat. It's just like a simple dungeon crawler with like tap actions, and you can do co-op dungeons and stuff. It seems okay. I haven't played enough to really speak on it, but it's out, so you can try it. And it seems like a bigger game than they put out on mobile so far, like a fully featured mobile experience, where it even has like, hey, add the voices in for the music because it'll make it even better and stuff like that. I don't know. And then I just started fiddling around with my 3DS again and decided I'm going to play a ton of 3D Land, which is still an amazing Mario game.
Fantastic.
I'll tell you what.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely.
Way
right?
better than the Wii U version or Wii U game.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
It's really good.
I think the 3D really. I know people are like, oh, I never played 3D on. It's like, dude, Mario 3D.
It's pretty
Land,
good in that game. Yeah,
it is so good and it's designed around it, but the 3D enhances that game for sure. And then I played some Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Oh,
it's a good game. No, I don't know. I still like it. You'll hear all about it soon, I'm sure.
oh, okay.
And then Stuntman's free on Xbox apparently.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, Stuntman Ignition.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
So go get that if you're on your Xbox, because it is a super fun game.
Yeah.
And so I think I mentioned this last week where I was playing the Forza Horizon 4 demo.
Yeah.
And yeah, they talked about the whole Stuntman thing. Gosh, so mad. So whatever. If that game has more of it, cool. But and then because of the video I'm actually making for In Defense Of, I played a lot of Geometry Wars 2, which is the best.
You're still playing that? That's
You-
crazy.
He plays it all the time. He loves it.
I remember
yeah.
when we did 20 eggs with Doug, like you were just like knocking the crap out of Geometry Wars.
It's why Doug never played it. My scores got real dumb. Still not the best. I've been watching these scores that people have done for like a couple different modes on there. I'm like, holy cow, there are tricks I still haven't learned in this game that I
Wow.
put a ton of time into. And it's insane, like the amount of scores you can get within just like 2 seconds more of having a life.
Oh wow.
Like it's an exponential increase in points on that game, and it's insane. So I was like, I'm gonna capture some footage. 3 hours passed or something, you know, like I just
my
not really 3
gosh.
hours, but it's one of
Probably
those.
about 3 hours, I bet.
Probably.
We'll go ask Sarah if it was 3
You're
hours.
just shy of 3 hours.
And Sarah was probably asleep, so
2
she'll
hours
never know.
and 50 minutes or so, you know. We'll round down.
Yeah.
How about that?
But the gosh, it probably was a lot. I don't know. Like, and in my head, I was like, well, I want this specific track to play at the beginning. Oh, that's Geometry Wars 3. And I went and played some Geometry Wars 3, and I was like, nah, it ain't no Geometry Wars 2. And, yeah, I don't know. Geometry Wars 2 is better than original Geometry Wars Retro Evolved. And I don't care what you say. I'll prove it soon.
Well, like going back to your comment about like all the little tricks and all the little things that can make your score go up, that's how Beat Saber is going to be.
Yeah?
At least that's how it is right now. Yeah, like it just, your accuracy in that game, like the better you are, the higher your score just jumps.
Like
Okay.
accuracy in terms of like how you hit it, or just the timing?
Because there's like
the timing from the blocks, yeah, and
like
like
slide, there's horizontal, vertical.
horizontal, vertical, there's angles.
I
they
hope that's not how you
switch
swing
it.
sabers.
No, I know.
There's a guy that does mall mode too, which is super
Oh, really?
What is?
fun.
Oh, mall. I was like, what's mall mode? Is it where he goes to the mall? I'm an idiot.
It's okay, Addie, we forgive you. But yeah, no, that's a lot of fun. But he doesn't do the directions. He just does the dots.
okay.
So you don't have to hit it so specifically.
Oh, okay. I feel like the
but-
directions would be like the thing that really makes that game, because I feel like
Yeah.
that's how you find out. Oh, I'm trying to think of. There was games that did this, but it's like you can't just even like just how Rock Band is sometimes. Like it's laid out in a way that says no, you have to hit this a specific way to make this work.
Yeah.
And I feel like having the directions makes it so like you have to think about how you choreograph your musical sword dancing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Musical sword dancing. There we go. There it is.
Put it on the back of the box.
The new genre.
That's the one.
Musical sword dancing.
Well, like it's crazy too, because even the simpler, slower songs that you can do on it, like the guy that streams all the time that I've been watching, he's lost like I think 60 or more pounds in
Oh, really?
like
Oh,
a
wow.
month.
Just some plain.
Just from playing
Wow.
Beat Saber.
Okay.
It's crazy, like how active it is.
Yeah.
So
It's good. Man, it needs to come out like now.
I know
I
I'm
want to
so
play
excited.
it really bad.
Yeah.
I'm really.
Is there like any have they teased a date or said, hey,
I haven't seen
holiday or
anything.
spring,
like
or is it-
closest I've seen was
'Cause that's
a
been out.
rumor about like next year.
Really?
Oh, that's way too
maybe,
long.
But
because that's been out for a while now, hasn't it?
yeah, at least
Yeah.
on PC it's been, but I
What are
haven't
they waiting
seen.
for?
I don't know.
It's not polished enough for Sony yet or something, maybe? Or
knows?
oh, jeez.
It's because they're trying to figure out crossplay. With, oh gosh. With that interlude, I can make this a nice segue to take a quick break.
Ooh.
And we'll be back to talk about just that.
Woo.
All right, and we are back. Sorry, I could have given you more of a break.
Oh no, it wasn't important.
Eddie runs a hard labor around here.
He does.
No bathroom breaks, no phone breaks, no. Let's go.
Look, you're on my time right now.
I gotta play Spider-Man. Let's go.
This is my podcast. You will do what I tell you.
I could just go.
I kind of want to play when I get home, but I don't know. We'll see.
I finished the story and everything. I'm just like, I don't know. I could just swing around. That's cool.
It's still a lot of fun.
Oh, heck yeah.
Absolutely.
And once you get that costume where you're just, the cartoon in the middle
That's
of the
really
real
cool.
world. It's so
That's,
nice.
Looks really
it's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
So Sony, I've got a few things to say
my
for
gosh.
Sony.
They have seen the light.
Sort of, I guess. So the big thing, I guess, for them is now with Fortnite, they are now doing crossplay
Yay.
in beta form.
hey, it's better than not having crossplay.
Very true.
Absolutely.
So I didn't look a ton into this to see like what the deal was, but I did see that they unlocked now you can bring your PlayStation 1 over to the Switch, which is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why this is a beta. Actually, isn't Fortnite still a beta? Like it's still technically
when
in
I
beta?
watch
Right?
Ben play it. It's on the Xbox. It says beta on the main screen. So it's like a beta in a beta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
It'll
I don't know.
always remain a beta.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be like the forever joke because this
there you
game
go.
never's a 1.0.
Yeah.
And it's still better than PUBG.
I forget their exact wording, but they said something about like after research and this, that, and the other, they found that this is the best thing for we've internally reached this. I forget what it was, but
The translation was
basically,
yeah, you're right.
Translation was basically, hey, people are abandoning their PS4 to play on other platforms. Not abandoning it, but their fear, I think, was that, hey, I can't play Cross on my PS4. I'll use my Xbox to play it.
Oh, yeah, that makes
and then
sense.
if they're spending more time on the Xbox ecosystem, then they
They're
may
gonna-
get more entrenched,
Yeah.
and I'll start buying games on my Xbox. I'll play more on it. I'll play Get Live on,
I've got
I think that was a big part of it.
Here we go. This represents a major policy change for Sony Interactive
sure
Entertainment,
does.
says John Codera, president and global CEO of SIE, in a blog post. He says Sony has identified a path forward supporting cross-platform features for select third-party content. He said,
all of them.
today, the communities around some games have evolved to the point where cross-platform experiences add significant value to players. In recognition of this, we've completed a thorough analysis of the business mechanics required to ensure that the PlayStation experience for our users remains intact today and in the future as we look to open the platform. That's corporate speak right there.
Oh, yeah.
that line there about the value, that's that's big right there. That's
I don't think oh, wait. There have been a couple of times I think I've seen your eyes roll back in your head a little further than that.
Yeah.
But that was,
It's just like
that was
an
an enjoyable, nostalgic moment.
That's a perfect example of good PR right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In marketing, yeah, for sure. But no, it's cool. I haven't tried it yet though, because
Right.
I really prefer to play with the DualShock. Even though I hated the DualShock 3, I couldn't stand it.
The DualShock 3 was kind of
rough.
weak.
It was weak.
It was
It
thin.
was.
It felt
and-
chintzy. The
Right.
sticks were too close together.
Yeah, the
It just-
4 was a massive improvement.
It
Huge
really
improvement.
is.
Yeah.
Going from, because I went from Xbox to PS3, and then that was the thing that I always hated. I think I'd come in and complain about
Yeah,
it.
oh, yeah. Oh,
I hate
yeah.
that controller.
All the time. Yeah.
Like it makes your hand like go into such an unnatural deformity of attempt to play, and that DualShock 4 when
so much better.
it's like it
they really fixed
feels
the ergonomics,
way
I
more
think, yeah.
natural. I don't feel like I'm forcing my hand so much,
No.
but there's still a mild adjustment. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
honestly,
no Wii U Pro controller, the perfect layout.
Yeah,
You know.
or that nice like ergonomic shape of the Microsoft controller. They really have that down pat when it comes to like the natural shape of your hands and how your thumbs lay.
I mean, I don't know. My thumbs are symmetrical. All right, my hands don't. They're not crooked like this. I don't know why those offset sticks are there. No, it's a good controller. I would say though that the 360 controller is better than the Xbox One controller.
Yep.
The Xbox One controller hurts my thumbs.
Absolutely.
It's so weird to me.
And the time I do play my Xbox One, it's like no.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
I had this friend, right?
It's a weird feeling.
They used to be. They
I
used to
hated
kind of
testing
give.
the Xbox One controllers at work. They were awful.
But we had this group of friends they're kind of like super fanboy against Doug by calling him a fanboy. And like we always tease Doug. He was a Sony guy, which he is, but he played everything. He was open to everything, and he actually probably liked Nintendo more than anything. But he was a big Sony guy. He was. But when we were talking about the DualShock, I remember we had it at conference that year, the first year before it came out. We messed around with that controller. And I remember I played it at the expo, and the next day we were at the Sony breakout room, and Christy handed out the controller for everyone to just check it out and stuff. And I was like, you have to feel this thing. Like, hold this in your hand. Oh, feel those buttons. Aren't those buttons nice? Because I think the buttons are way better, too. Like, they're massive improvement.
Absolutely.
It's not the pressure sensitivity, probably. But and I was so taken back by how much of an improvement that controller truly is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Microsoft is like, well, we got 1 billion improvements to the Xbox One controller. But like my friends at the time that were the Xbox guys, they were like running around like, you got to see this controller. And I'm like, what am I looking at? It's like almost the same thing. Like there's a little bit more curve on the trigger, I guess. But like the analog sticks are worse. They're smaller and they are hard and they hurt my thumbs. I don't like this thing. The D-pad's not better. It's just slightly scooted over, which is better placement. I don't know. I'm not as impressed at all. Like it's not a huge difference.
I liked as an improvement on that Xbox One controller was that D-pad because I'm a small person. My thumbs don't reach as far as your guys with your massive man hands. So like,
yeah, look at these beasts.
She has man hands. Man hands. Oh dear.
No, I have tiny hands. So,
I always get a kick out of the people because I am a small person and they're always like, my hands are too big to do this. I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard because that's not true. And he goes, whatever, man, put up your hands. It's like, okay, boom, same size. You have nothing to complain about. Like Jeff did that to me. He was like, just the Sony controller. I was like, put up your hands. I was like, bam, same size. I have the same size hands as a guy who's like 7,000 feet tall. So he can eat it.
So yeah, no, I appreciated that slight modification, but otherwise, yeah, whenever somebody would bring in a controller, I'd just be like, ugh, I have to test this thing.
I will say though that their Elite controller is one of the finest controllers ever made. That thing is super cool, and it's because the sticks are great. I don't care about anything else.
Has a nice click to it, like that.
It has
clicky spring feel to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've got better tension and they've got a really nice springy click to it. Mm-hmm. And I don't care about anything else on the controller. It's awesome that it's there, but I don't need it. The sticks and the weight are everything to me.
Yeah.
Was it worth the price point though?
Not for me. That's why I don't have one.
Like, I remember we got one in at Grand Haven that came in its own special case. I'm just like, really?
Nice little zippered pouch.
Like,
you get the
you got to have all
your
attachments and everything.
Attachments in there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, I guess I'm not that hardcore.
My D-pad, my extra little sticks, and my paddles.
I'm just not that hardcore anymore. My daughter just grabs my controller and she's probably got hand cheese in it. So,
do you give her like a fake controller?
I don't have quite a fake controller yet, but
I've got one for Noah because he watches me play sometimes, and I'll just give him like.
How old is Noah?
3.
Okay.
I'll be playing like PS4. I'll just give him like a Xbox 360 controller with no batteries in it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Daddy, look at me, I'm playing." And I'm like, "Yeah, good job, buddy. Keep going." And
my son knows better
now.
Like he knows what controller goes for what, and he's keen on this. But my daughter isn't.
Yeah.
So we were playing Mario Kart, and she goes, "I play, Daddy." And normally I would hand her this like remote for a toy truck, and because it's got 2 analog sticks on it.
Yeah.
one throttle, one turn. And she's like, okay. And so she picked up the DualShock. She knows that's a real controller at least. And she sat next to me, just put her head on my shoulder, and just sat there. And it was like the nicest day.
Aww.
There you go. But no, I sold, I didn't sell it. I traded it in, it's true. It's true. I traded it in so I can make this custom purple one
That
with
purple
the
one
white.
is sweet.
I love
This
that
is
purple
such
one.
bad. Oh boy, it's bad.
It looks
I don't have
blue.
great lighting.
Yeah.
Here, is your lighting better, Mark?
Maybe.
It's not. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it's I got an idea. Here we go. Look at that. Put a flashlight on it. Oh, this is such terrible.
This is
terrible.
sophistication right here, Ann. Look at this. We are super high tech here at the next level.
Oh boy.
Should I get mine out too? We'll do like a multi-angle flashlight.
Oh
on it.
yeah.
Let's make an iPhone style like presentation for this royal purple controller with its like to me it looks like
Get
pearly
like
white
a
teeth.
reflector.
Yeah, like a
Diffuse some
yeah.
light.
Right.
Oh
Anyway,
my
it's
gosh.
royal colors because so cool. I'm not really. I just like purple, and it's got white buttons, which I like a lot.
Yeah. No, that's a really nice controller.
That is cool.
I will say that I thought it was really dumb because all their new controllers like it's got the grip on the back. It's like no, it doesn't. This is not
Yeah.
a grip. This is just a slight texture on
That's
it.
the
This is-
plastic,
is.
or is it the rubber?
Yeah, it's
Is
not
it-
the rubber at all.
Oh, yeah, it's
It's
plastic,
plastic.
yeah, yeah.
And it was like your controllers have had the rubber on many different iterations, and it's super nice. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do?
I wish Sony would do something like that.
I
know that
agree.
they've got different colors now that they have, like different mix-ups, but
I want to customize them.
they go in there and like, yeah, I want this body color, this button color, this analog
Yeah.
color. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So anyway, back on Sony and their cross-play adventures, they're not gonna do it for Fallout 76.
Well, that's not Sony not doing it. Like Bethesda has said, it's not going to have crossplay. Period.
No, is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, because I wasn't
Okay.
sure which.
No, yeah, no.
if-
Bethesda came. That was even a few weeks ago.
Oh, so it's them saying like, hey, despite you being open about this,
yes,
we're still not
that's
doing
what it was. Yes, Bethesda had said, hey, even though you guys, that still doesn't mean that we'll now, because
Okay.
at one point it felt or it seemed like they're like, nah, we're not doing that. Why waste our time when it's not completely
Right.
open? And now Sony has done the
change.
not beta, the what's it called? The crossplay.
The
Oh
crossplay.
my gosh, the crossplay. And they reiterated like, hey, this was never crossplay from the beginning.
Okay.
Even though now we have a completely open community, we're still not doing
Okay,
it. So
that
that's
makes
what that
way
was.
more sense.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
And because even Sony in that first statement you read a little bit ago, they said select titles.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
It's up to developer choice.
at
Yeah.
this
That's how
point,
it should be.
you'll eventually see Rocket League open up. You're going to see
Rocket League is already talking about it. Yeah.
They had it running like a year ago.
I mean,
if not more.
Fortnite does it was ready from the get go too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So going forward, you'll see it. Sony will support it from here on out. So
My hope, there's 2 games, at least one game, but 2 games I hope would actually just open up crossplay, and that's Battlefield 5 and Division 2, because I have, well, I'm assuming you guys got Battlefield 5 on Xbox would be my guess. And I know Brandon won't make
No
the
idea.
switch, so and I would like to play with him, but I'm not getting Battlefield 5 on Xbox because everyone else I play with is on PS4.
yeah.
But the Division is that one where I was
yeah,
mentioning
your
it before.
buddy,
Is like
yeah.
the one guy I'd play it with the most is on Xbox, but most of the people I'd play it with are on PS4.
Yeah.
So if I could just like, man, if you just open that one up, Ubisoft, then I wouldn't.
Has
have to
Ubisoft
worry
even
about
said anything about having
it.
crossplay?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But they should.
They've
At this
got some
point,
time yet. That's not till March.
Yeah.
So they've got a few months yet to do it.
It'd just be
Oh,
awesome
yeah.
if everyone just opened it up.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Have that. Yeah.
I think we're getting to a point now where it's sort of integrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think it would be a smart move for them to just be like, hey, like,
Yeah.
whatever your preference.
Yeah, and that's
But-
I think what Sony had learned too in this whole experience is that they want to keep people on the PS4.
Yeah.
They don't want them to deviate or migrate. You know, they want to keep them on their platform of choice. So yeah, they're still playing on their platform of choice, which is PS4. It keeps them on the PS4.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're playing with their friends on the Xbox or the Switch or the PC, whatever it may be.
And that's
You
the
know,
thing that
and
I've really appreciated with Sony
Yeah.
is how, like, customer gamer focused they have been since
Yeah.
they launched the PS4. It's just been we
Up
listen-
until this,
Well,
but yeah.
yeah, I
the
mean,
whole crossplay
like,
thing, like that was.
besides the whole.
But you're right though.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
they're they're at least listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they hear their customer base and what they're saying and what they want.
And that's what people were actually saying when this whole crossplay thing became a big issue, is that, they're going back to the PS3 era of arrogance. Like, oh, look at us, we're the kings, and then... Or no, the PS2, sorry. The PS2 level of arrogance, and then the 360 came out, and then just...
Well, you got to think, too, so many of these moves are probably made from being in a spot of, hey, we're not the top dog. Like, Xbox needs to make some good policy moves or some power moves, basically.
Yeah.
So we're gonna really push this crossplay thing because that's the thing that Sony's not doing currently, and we're gonna make them look bad so that we look good.
It's just like the whole thing now with the PS2 and PS4 games, where you can download them and play them offline if you're a now subscriber, which is like you could do from the Game Pass from the beginning. So they're kind of going back and forth. Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer still that they don't do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We all win.
And I wish they would still do the EA Pass. Like, I don't know why they didn't
Is
let
there
that
a reason
be.
why Sony's not?
They said it was a bad value for their customers or something. But my guess is it's got to be something
I'd
to do
probably
with
do that
something.
on PS4.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Because I don't like playing on the Xbox. So.
Like, I've thought about getting the EA Pass just because there are, like, and here's the thing that stops me. Like, on Xbox, I'd play NHL with a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
But the other EA games are like Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefield 5 and stuff like that. And like, if they put those games out, like if you get them, say, like a couple months in, and like I think they're doing it on PC, right, where those games are just now, bam, they're part of the service right away.
Yeah.
If they did that on Xbox, I'd probably do it because it's $30 for the year or something stupid like that. It's something really cheap.
Oh, is it really that cheap for an entire year?
Is it 50 maybe?
Yeah. I think
it's very reasonable, whatever it is. It's under, I think it's under $60.
Let me take a look.
But
yeah, all I know is it's not the price of a game is my best. My best.
Because the games like Madden 19, you didn't get like right away. You got a discount.
What is it called?
If you bought it digitally,
Access.
if you were EA Access, right? Whoa. But you didn't get the full game from the get go.
Yeah, they would do the thing where, like, hey, Madden, the new Madden's coming out. You get to play it 3 weeks early, for X amount of hours tops, and then once the game comes out, you need to buy it. But
you got a discount too, though, didn't you?
Yeah, you'd get a discount. I think if you bought it right away or something. I'm looking it up now as I'm curious about the price because my buddy does it and he really enjoys it.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me how much it is. Like, I don't need all this advertisement. Holy cow! Coming soon. Battlefield 5. Maybe they are going to change it. Cool. Well, yeah, because available now.
Yeah.
FIFA 19, NHL 19, NBA Live 19, Madden 19. So maybe they are starting to do that.
10% discount.
Oh my goodness! Should I just be doing this? Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know why Sony doesn't do that. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, here we go. $5 a month or $30 for the year.
Wow.
You save 50% by doing it annually. That's a good price. That's
cool.
A good deal.
Yeah.
So whatever you're doing, Sony, stop it.
Oh dear.
All right. Well, so Fallout 76 may not have crossplay, but there is a beta coming in late October. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking forward to it, jump on in.
I gotta jump on that. I don't know. I'm really on the fence how 76 is gonna turn out.
Me too.
People are getting a little more apprehensive about it, I think. Especially at the store. They're like, there's no NPCs and, there's...
Well, you'll still have robot that'll do, the stuff where players don't exist, I guess.
The whole object is to find the nuke codes and nuke somebody. Like, not really.
No.
I mean, that's more of a side thing, like a bonus, I guess.
Yeah.
Bonus.
I don't know.
It looks cool, but I've never had time for those Fallout games or
I got Fallout
ESO and stuff. Or
I remember I got Fallout
Skyrim
4 for $5 when it first came out because the retail sites.
Yeah.
And I haven't played it yet, so
Yeah, I think when I was married, I bought Oblivion. I think we bought Oblivion like 4 or 5 times with all the re-releases.
Could you believe that they put fast travel in that game?
I know. Ugh, disgusted with it.
The nerve.
And then Skyrim, I think I bought like 3 times, and
I bought it twice. So
Bethesda owns my bank. I swear.
I bought it 0 times.
Todd Howard.
Yeah.
Mr. Howard, he had a spell on you for a while there, didn't he? Yeah.
He's
his
married,
fancy
though.
leather coat.
She's getting the vipers.
He's married with children. I don't do the homewrecker thing, unfortunately. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, no.
a
girls
good thing.
got morals.
Oh boy.
But if you were single,
you got to go for it.
yeah.
This is your moment. Mom spaghetti, all that.
Mom's spaghetti. You can put up whatever prenup you want before marriage. I don't care.
Just give me Elder Scrolls 6.
Just give me all the Elder Scrolls.
If you don't like Elder Scrolls, then we get divorced. Oh, boy. So, hey, you guys want some positive Sony news?
Yes.
They're going to give you some free games if you're part of the PlayStation Plus. Wahoo!
Yeah.
And there's some decent one in there.
Yeah.
There's a decent one in there. I don't know.
There's usually a good one every month.
Yeah, I don't ever think it's as bad as people make it
Yeah.
out to be.
What did
but
we get last month? I forgot.
It was stuff I think I had.
Destiny 2 and God of War 3 Remastered.
Oh,
Yeah,
yep.
there we go.
That's what it was. I was like,
That's
I'll
good
probably
stuff.
play through those.
I
again.
tagged
forgot
God of
about
War
the
3.
God of War 3. I should probably get that.
That changes over Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah,
quick download it. Like
Yeah.
I literally just go to the
Yeah, and just
PlayStation
add to
store
the
like
library.
the first Tuesday of every month. I'm just like beep beep beep.
Yep.
beep
Is that what
beep.
it is? It's always the first Tuesday?
Usually.
It's the first Tuesday because it's
Okay.
not like the first of the month. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first Tuesday
Yeah.
because they update every Tuesday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal.
Yeah. Just go in there and tag them, add them to the library, and then
Yep.
you just go back anytime. You
It's
go back a year
so-
later, and as long as you have Plus, you just download it.
Yeah,
right.
it's so
Yeah.
nice because I don't know. I had like a power surge in my house or something, and it mucked up my PS4.
Oh,
Like
no.
I felt really bad because it had happened to a customer that had come in and was trying to trade in his PS4. And at the time when I was working at the store and that happened, I was by myself, and I was just like, dude, I'm sorry, I don't know how to fix your PS4. Like, I can take it, but I gotta take it defective. And so,
Yeah.
like, when the same thing happened to my PS4, I was like, no. And so I was like, I scoured Google for a couple of days, just distraught.
Yeah.
And I finally figured out how to reset my PS4 to clear it all, but I was just like, everything is
Yeah.
gone. But no,
That's the worst.
it's so nice though to just pop back on in there
Yeah.
and be like, oh, these are all the free games that I purchased.
Woohoo.
Thanks for keeping it attached to my account, Sony. Love you.
Well, hey, this month we're going to add a little bit more. Like Master Reboot. I don't know what that is. I don't actually know what any of these smaller ones are because there's Master Reboot, The Bridge, Rocket
yeah.
Birds 2.
The bridge was pretty cool.
What is that one?
It's an indie. It's like one of those black and white. I think it's like about some brothers maybe or something if I remember correctly. I don't know. It looked
Okay.
cool.
All right. Well, it looks cool. So might as well just grab it. It's free. Rocket Birds 2 and then 2064 read-only memories. And all these are like cross-buy Vita, PS4 stuff. But the big one this month, which is a great time for it, is Eric's favorite game,
Yay!
Friday the 13th.
Now,
Which-
is this isn't like that one that just came out on disc, like the whole not collection, but it's like all the DLC and stuff. It's like the ultimate edition of it. This is just the base.
Probably just the base
I
game.
imagine so. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I'm reading it.
I
I'm
would
like,
imagine it would just be
doesn't
just
say.
the base game.
Yeah, I'd imagine too.
I actually probably need to
'Cause
play that now.
That'd be a pretty
Yeah?
big
Mm.
freebie of a. But
Hey, they've done
but
well. Laser League is also part of this too. It was kind of a fun game. I got that on Xbox when it was free a couple months ago. It was decent. Or maybe it was Game Pass. I don't know. So there's some good stuff. And to continue the train of free games, Microsoft's got some for you too.
Yeah, Microsoft has good ones this
I
month.
feel, by the way, I hate that they stagger those things.
It is kind of weird.
I don't like it
Yeah.
because I always forget about them.
Yeah.
That's probably the point.
Like October 1st through the 12th, you get this game.
Yeah.
And then the 12th through the 20th, you get. It's just
That's so weird.
It is kind of strange. Yeah.
Well, hey,
What are they? I don't. What are they for Xbox? I don't even know.
you ready for this? Overcooked. Ba-boom. That's
Oh,
a
really?
fun game.
Oh, seriously?
Hitman Blood Money.
Blood Money? Oh my goodness.
Stuntman Ignition. And Victor Vran. I don't know what
Dude,
that
Blood
is.
Money is the best Hitman game.
Is it really?
It's yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Better than the new stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Way better. Way better. It's
How did you
really
feel
good.
about Absolution? Because I know that one was kind of like the diverted
I mean,
one.
it was cool, but unlike Blood Money, where basically each level is its own
Mhm.
contract, Like it was one big sprawling story. So it was all like it wasn't like, hey, go to New Orleans and kill this guy, or go to Paris and kill this guy. It was like it was a story from start to finish.
This was Blood Money, you said?
No, Absolution.
Absolution's like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's
Blood
how
Money's really good.
That's how the new one is like go to this place, kill this guy.
The new one is more like the old games where it's just separate contracts.
How do you feel about that second one coming out?
Looks pretty cool. It's gonna get buried, but
oh yeah, it will. Is it coming out October?
November 19th.
Oh yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
So like we were saying with the dates though, I'll read it off. It's Overcooked is the first through the 31st. Victor Vran is 16th to November 15th. Stuntman Ignition is the 1st through the 15th, but that's actually free right now. I already downloaded it. I've already been playing it.
Wow.
And then Hitman is 16th through the 31st. So thanks, Larry Herb, for being confusing.
A lot of times they just flip the switch on those things, and it's just here it is.
Yeah.
Is that the one that you were playing?
What's
a
that?
few weeks ago, that Left 4 Dead one? Is that what that is?
No. You're thinking of Warhammer, or not Warhammer? Yeah, no. Warhammer 40. Not Warhammer 40K. What is that game? It's
like the Left 4 Dead.
Warhammer.
Is it Warhammer game?
Yeah. What is that called?
Vermintide.
Vermintide. There we go.
Okay.
Warhammer Vermintide 2.
That just looked like the guy from the out of the corner of my eye. So
I could see that. I have no idea what that game is.
It's really small.
Looks like a bad. Looks like a bad Van Helsing looking thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. I see it now.
Victor Vran. Get out of my town, Dracula. I don't like you here in this country. Get me on Games for Gold, boy. Here's a +2, and I guess this is my final story. My mouse and keyboard support coming to the Xbox One for anyone who wants to support it.
Finally.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think a company like Microsoft would have had mouse and keyboard from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because 360 was just plug and play, wasn't it?
I don't
PS2
know.
was.
Well, it wasn't. Well, PS2 didn't have it where you could just like plug in a mouse and it would take over like controls, though, right?
But, like you could plug in a keyboard because Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
You could
11,
could always do keyboards on all the systems for typing stuff in,
but not on Xbox,
for controlling
One.
Xbox One. I think you could do that.
Can you now?
You could do a keyboard for like typing in codes and messages. I think.
Because
that's how the PlayStation 4 is too, except for Fortnite. But I'm not 100% sure for Xbox One, but I know all the consoles before would like even the Wii was like I plug in a keyboard type crap in.
I had a keyboard with a USB port. I can't remember what console I used it on.
Because I remember we used to sell at the mall that it was the Game Fish or whatever. It was the keyboard.
Yeah.
It was like a half keyboard plus a mouse.
Yeah.
It was like a keyboard and then a controller.
A controller. Like that old. Remember that one for the GameCube?
Yeah.
The Phantasy Star?
Well, it was different than that because that was like two GameCubes with
like
a keyboard in the middle.
It was a GameCube controller just like 3 feet long. It was crazy.
Yeah. But the Game Fish thing or whatever it was called, it was like a keyboard and then it was like a mouse / controller thing. I'm going to have to look this up because it was a weird hybrid of sorts.
That kind of rings a bell.
PS2. It's probably not
weird controller.
Game Fish. Keyboard controller. Let's see if this is what it is. Because it's not that. They do have one like that. Whoops. They do have one where, oh gosh, what am I hitting? Where you'll see the Logitech thing.
One. Yeah.
But we sold something completely different than that. Oh man, I wish I could find it. Because it's a game. I thought it's something with a fish.
Rocket Fish is like Best Buy's thing.
Is that what that is?
That's like their in-house accessory brand or something, I think.
Okay. There's that GameCube one you're talking about. That's awesome.
Oh,
That thing's sweet. Man, I can't remember. Was it? I'll have to find it. I'll post a picture or something because that thing was so weird because it had a mouse pad, but I think it had like PS2 controller parts on it. Ah, man, that's gonna drive me nuts. Oh well. It's a great audio podcast here looking at pictures.
Well, turn it this way and they can see it while you're scrolling.
That's true, yeah. I mean, for anyone watching the video, let me show you the sweet GameCube controller that Mark's talking about because this thing is boss. I'm going to turn it to your camera, but I still didn't do it. Why is this not? Oh, gosh. I like bumped it and... Oh, things are broken. Oh, that's what I did. Here we go.
The camera's stuck on Eddie, Ann.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you see that thing?
Yeah, I think it was awesome.
Oh my
What was that called? That's called the. Oh gosh, I can't figure out my life. What does that say? Fish keyboard controller? I'm not even talking into my microphone.
gonna
It's ASCII.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh boy.
Are you sure fish wasn't spelled with like a PH?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably something stupid like that.
Yeah, it was Fantasy Star. Yeah, I think that's crazy. Man, that's old school cool right there.
Oh boy. All right, well that's all I got. Unless anyone else had anything.
Did we
else
get
that I
any
know.
replies or responses for our question?
Oh, Mark, I'm so glad
Yes.
you reminded me. You're right.
glad.
So
Eric have a bunch of ridiculous questions for us this week.
no, Eric had like 50 responses he didn't write in one comment. I already gave him crap for it, so he can take it.
I thought of another one too just today. Parasite Eve.
Right.
That'd be sweet if that was on there. Not number 2.
Number 1 for sure.
Far superior number 1. Yes.
Okay.
Still one of the best
clamor for
CG
change.
openings of any PS1 game.
What was the opening
So
to that?
good.
I can't remember.
That really cool like guitar, the dun and it's like just showed like the virus going around New York City, like it infected the rats.
Oh yeah.
And, like the Statue of Liberty had like that red infection around her and stuff. And oh yeah.
I remember
It's
looking
really
at the
good.
back of that strategy guide when I was a kid, and there you just see that topless demon lady.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, shouldn't have any nipples, so it doesn't count, right?
Oh man.
That was a cool game. I remember, like, 'cause
That
I
was
didn't really
a really
understand that game back
Awesome
then.
game.
But after, like, a long while after, I was playing Vagrant Story, and I was like,
Yeah.
wait a second, this is like Parasite Eve. Like, they were very similar. I mean, they're both
Yep.
square, but
I played through that a couple years ago, and it's still
Parasite
really
Eve?
good. Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one. Yeah, the second
I
one.
got
was,
that for like $3 from
Oh, really?
someone, $2.50 I think even. And I
Really?
was like, dang, this is
Mine's
awesome.
still the
Yeah.
original Black Label launch day copy. So
Oh,
I think mine might be Black
Yeah.
Label too. Come to think of it, and
Yeah.
it's in like pristine.
it's not too hard to
condition.
find in Black Label. It's not
No.
super expensive. So
So, I think Twisted Metal came up on a couple of this list.
Oh, yeah.
But if you don't know what question it was what are your top 5 musts for the PlayStation Classic? That's what we were talking about last week. And we didn't hear from you. So what would have to be on your PlayStation Classic?
My PlayStation Classic. Well, I didn't really play a whole lot of like PlayStation Classic games back in the day.
So you
'Cause I
want
was
Mario 64,
pretty much, yeah. Like
Wave Race.
I grew up on Nintendo. You know, I had the original NES at my grandpa's house, and my mom got the SNES. So
Oh, yeah.
like and then all of a sudden the Xbox came out, and she got me that. So
And you were like, why? Why the Xbox? I'm just kidding. PS2 all day. So Mark's over there like, you're an idiot.
no, there's a lot of stuff I missed on the PS2
Oh,
Yeah.
because I was so.
yeah.
Once I got the Xbox,
Well, you had
It was
Itagaki's great Ninja Gaiden, you had Dead or Alive, and you had Xbox Live.
Halo,
big
Crimson,
deal.
Crimson Skies.
Crimson Skies, yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
a little title called Crimson Skies.
Little title.
Little title. That was so much fun. Oh my goodness.
Man, I got that one for like $3 too. I got some good deals on some stuff before it all hiked up.
Anybody say the first Ridge Racer? Because I know Type 4's on there already announced. But
we'll
I mean,
see. We'll see.
why would they have Type 4 and not the original one?
I don't know. It's weird. I was just
Unless
gonna.
Yeah,
Namco's
that
being
doesn't really
silly,
make
but it's
sense.
Type 4 is still a Namco game anyway.
Yeah. I was going to give you the anecdote that the first time I ever played Super Nintendo was after I got... Okay, so I was golfing in the front yard as a little boy. And my mom will claim that this shot happened from like way across the road, and it was a masterpiece, masterclass in golfing, Like I was like halfway in the yard, and I was golfing at my house. Like not thinking it through because I'm a child, and I hit a golf ball through the window. And my dad, as punishment, said, you got to pick up every dandelion. Pick every dandelion in the yard. Which now that I'm a parent, I'm like, oh, this is a good time waster. This doesn't need
That's all
to
I was
happen.
doing. Yeah, it's just get out of here. Go pick the grass.
Get out of my house. Get out of my face, and this will keep him occupied while I get a bunch of stuff together that I need to get done.
And you actually did it. See, like back in my day, I did that stuff too.
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
kids now. No.
Well, so I
They'd
picked
look at
all
me
these
and go right back to their
dandelions,
game.
and then he goes, "You're gonna come with me. We're gonna go to my buddy Larry's house, which isn't that far." And I think that was his name. And he was like, they just wanted to sit and visit and chat, and he goes, you can go play the Super Nintendo. I was like, what? And he had Link to the Past and Mario World. And I was like, this is the coolest. So, like, anytime we went to my dad's buddy Larry's house, it was like, we're playing Super Nintendo.
Heck yeah.
But I think my first experience was when I was in trouble, and then I ended up playing Super Nintendo.
Yeah, because, like, my mom even got us, like, the Game Boys. We had the Game Boy Classics, and then the color came out. She got me the purple one. I was so excited.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I was...
my color's purple, too.
My color's yellow. I got it from Douglas.
Oh, see, that one means a lot.
Yeah,
So.
and it was the last Game Boy I needed to complete the boy collection, or whatever you want to call it. My collection of boys.
The boy collection.
Oh no, Eddie.
So the top
you might
five.
want to rename that collection. You want to come over to my collection of boys?
Oh my gosh.
I've got
What?
I've got all these boys. One's red.
I got a
one's
yellow
green,
boy.
I got
Oh
a
my
yellow
God.
boy.
I've got a white boy. I've got a black boy.
I don't discriminate. You know?
That's good. I guess.
So the top 5 games, the PlayStation Classic. One guy, Ben Smalligan, he wrote in Twisted Metal. He apparently that's the only game he needs on there. So that's the only one he wrote. My buddy Scott, Mr. Driscoll, he wrote Metal Gear Solid, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Final Fantasy Tactics, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and Dragon Ball Z Legends, which never came out here, but that was a blast.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
That was a good game.
Tony Hawk, that's a good one. I didn't think about that.
So let me ask you, would you go Tony Hawk, or would you go Tony Hawk 2?
I'd go 2.
Yeah, you would.
I
You
would.
want to know why? You go 2 because it's got Spider-Man in it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Infinitely better game.
I think it's just a more well-rounded game.
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 added manuals, and it had a great soundtrack.
I played
it had
2
cool levels.
on Dreamcast. I played so much number 2 on Dreamcast.
Dreamcast was great.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I played so much of that on Dreamcast. Oh my gosh.
My cousin had the first PlayStation when I had the SNES, and I just remember playing Sonic to death. So that would probably be my only choice. Sonic.
Yeah, we'll put that on your PlayStation, right? What do you? I missed. I'm gonna stop. So I'm old and I'm tired over here, just falling asleep. So hey, Caleb, he said Siphon Filter, Ape Escape, Front Mission.
Oh yeah, Ape Escape.
Yeah, and Front Mission 3, and he doesn't care about anything else.
Ape Escape would be a good one.
Yeah, but you can't have it because no analog sticks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, isn't that horrible?
Well, Metal Gear was all analog too, wasn't it?
No, you could
Was
play
it?
that with the D-pad.
Could you?
Yeah. Oh, I played the whole game without the
Okay.
analog stick controller. Our boy Justin Straight, he said also Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy 7, Symphony of the Night, which I think is a must for most of us.
Speaking
and,
of which, I got
Street
announced
Fighter.
officially. Did you see that?
Yeah. We were talking about that last week.
That was rumored last week. It's
Yeah.
been officially confirmed.
What do they
So,
call it?
The Requiem collection.
Okay.
So it's Symphony and then it's Rondo of Blood.
The 2 best.
The 2 best.
Oh,
But apparently,
I
but apparently
saw
they're
that,
they're
yeah.
just like glossed over ports of the PSP version,
Which
of the
makes
game,
sense.
which-
Yeah, that's
'cause
what they do.
It's emulated in the PS4 anyway,
Mhm.
but it looks good.
Yeah.
And if you pre-order it as a Plus member, it's $15.99.
That's not a bad price.
Oh wow.
I'll
Not a
buy
bad
it.
price.
Yep, I'm a sucker. I'll buy it again, like the 5th time. So,
Our boy Justin also wrote Street Fighter Alpha 3.
yeah.
So, a lot of people seem to prefer 2, but 3 has
Yeah,
more characters.
The
I
first
don't know.
one's good too. They're
all
good.
pretty solid,
They're all
yeah.
good, yeah.
Our boy Josh Dembinski.
Oh, nice. Hey,
Yeah,
Josh.
he commented on here. He's Final Fantasy 8,
Mhm.
Siphon Filter 2, Suikoden, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, but only if it has the music. Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
they won't.
9, Metal Gear Solid, and Fear Effect. He was the only other person I
Fear
saw.
Effect.
Yeah,
There we go.
saw Fear
Nice.
Effect on there.
Man, PS1. My goodness.
What a good system. My buddy Joey, or Joseph, he wrote in Suikoden 2, Wild Arms, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Grandia. But he also wrote in Symphony of the Night, and I will say he is the reason I know what that game is, because I was like, I want to see the Star Wars Masters of Terras Kasi game. So I was like, yeah, that seems cool. But he was like,
You
no,
want to
you
play
got
this? You big dummy.
But he was just like, it was like my mom was on her way to pick me up, and I was like, no, show me the Star Wars game, because like I was waiting for him to show it to me. And he's like kept playing Symphony of the Night, and his mom's like, come on, just show him the stupid game. And like looking back, he was right. I should have just been
absolutely.
Yeah. I almost made a joke list. It's like, I gotta have Star Wars Masters of Terras Kasi.
That'd be hilarious. That actually ended up on the classic. That'd be really just like a troll game.
I was trying to think like what else could I put on there that's obviously like a horrible game.
Get some Parappa the Rapper on there.
That'll probably be on there.
Look, I'm just so sad about that. Like, it's a great. It's a game I want to be
angry.
want to be great, but the timing is so bad.
Yeah, it is. It was bad on PS4 too.
It was bad on every version. Like, and I would always get so angry because like rhythm games are my jam. I know I've got good rhythm because I've mastered everything in Rhythm Heaven and every other rhythm game I play, but Parappa the Rapper eludes me. And I had these buddies of mine. They're like, "Oh, you're just bad at the game. I beat it, no problem." It's like, yeah, but none of this works. Like, the timing on the button presses isn't accurate. The timing on him speaking isn't accurate. The timing on the animation isn't accurate. It's driving me nuts. I really want to play Parappa the Rapper 2 and see if it's any different, but we'll see. And then Eric wrote 50,000 comments. Oh my goodness, buddy. What did he write?
He just wrote one game for each line.
Each line, yeah. Twisted Metal 2, Tomb Raider 1 and 2, Wipeout, Final Fantasy 8, he wrote. Silent Hill, which, yeah, you gotta have that.
Honestly.
Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid. He wrote that stupid Gex 2 on there. Jet Moto 2 and Mortal Kombat Trilogy. See you going?
Those Jet Moto games are kind of fun.
Yeah.
That was one of the first product placements I actually remember.
Is that Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Yep. On the side rails there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's so hard to narrow down 5 for me because I think like when I think about the PlayStation 1, I don't remember like having a huge. I didn't play a ton of stuff back then because I got into the RPG stuff kind of late, and so for me it was like, well, it'd have to be Siphon Filter. I think I'm getting bit by a bug. Siphon Filter, one of them, at least the first one, if not the second one. Siphon Filter, Silent Hill, Resident Evil 2, Final Fantasy 7 or 8 would be fine, and then Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, because it's kind of because like for me. I mean, it's all the earlier stuff.
Yeah, you're like the jumping
Wipeout,
man.
Jumping Flash, Twisted Metal. I mean, Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7, Castlevania Symphony. Those are the ones that come up to mind immediately for me.
Yeah.
But if you just sit there and actually think, and then you think of Parasite Eve, you think of
Vagrant Story,
and,
Legend of Dragoon,
Ridge Racer 2, of course, would be
right.
Yeah. I played so much Ridge Racer.
I always forget that Legend of Dragoon was on the PS1.
Yeah.
Because I played Orta on the Xbox.
That is a different game.
What
am I? Maybe am I saying the wrong game?
There was a Dragoon. It was
because
Orta was Xbox.
Well, because Legend of Dragoon is a turn-based RPG.
Oh
yeah.
I'm thinking.
What is the name of the one?
Panzer Dragoon.
Panzer Dragoon. There we go.
Yep.
Was it on your PlayStation stuff or? That was a good game.
No,
that started off on PlayStation, didn't it?
No, it was Saturn.
Saturn, right?
Oh.
It was 1 and 2, and then Saga was on Saturn, and then they had Orta
on Xbox
original, and then they had not Red Dragon. That's a movie, a book. It was Crimson Dragon.
Yeah.
Which is like a spiritual. That was on Xbox One.
Oh, yeah. It was like the
Connect
I was
game,
like,
right? Oh my gosh! Oh my! Like, everyone's like, why are you so excited for that? Like, oh, it's a Panzer game. And
it wasn't very good.
It wasn't very good.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to it, and then right before it released, I was a little disappointed.
It was because it was a launch title for Xbox One. So
I was like, that would be the only reason why I would buy an Xbox One is for my Panzer Dragoon game, but it looked just terrible. And I was really broken because Orta was such a good game. I loved it.
It was.
I remember I went to my neighbor's house a lot to play their Saturn. It's the only person I've ever known that owned a Saturn for like the longest time. And I was under try that Clockwork Knight.
Yeah.
Was that good?
Clockwork Knight was like a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Sort of like a
platforming puzzle.
Named Mr. Bones and
I think we played that Virtual Fighter and Sonic 3D Blast.
Yeah,
was-
Sega kind
Panzer
of screwed
Dragoon.
the pooch on that one. So
Yeah.
because they were gonna hold that thing for another almost I think half of a year, 8 months,
Oh wow.
and they caught wind of Sony doing the PS1, the
Right.
PlayStation, and they just
Gotta get it out.
this. It's actually in that book a little bit too. It's like
like the
basically
tale of
they
Sega
they
right
didn't
there.
tell like anybody. They didn't tell the distributors. They didn't tell the retailers.
Oh,
They just
jeez.
they just showed up, and they was like, "What do we do?" And like sell it, and it was a disaster.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's
and then,
what.
and then it was like
I
they-
remember you
they-
talking
they
about that
jumped the
before.
gun 6 months to beat Sony in both Japan and the U.S.
Mhm.
And Sony just came in and manhandled them, like just
Dude,
destroyed.
the
That
PS1,
poor Saturn,
PS2
man.
is
the Saturn,
like-
though, like you get that action replay with the override cart. You can get all those great Japanese imports. It's a fantastic system,
Mhm.
but the library cannot hold a candle to the PS1.
No.
It's just
And that was like the problem with like Sega always jumps the gun and they get out and they have systems that are ahead of their time.
Yeah.
And they don't have a good enough library to sustain it after some other thing comes in.
Well,
and-
it was
and
kind of
kinda kicks 'em.
with the Dreamcast though. Had a very strong library, very strong. Like it was one of the biggest launch.
Yeah,
things
like a
ever
strong launch.
to that point. But then eventually the lack of DVD playback and then the lack of EA support just killed
Dude,
that
the-
off because
It's
like,
weird though because
we've
like,
got our 2K, which was I think
the 2K games are
superior,
way better.
Fantastic.
Yeah, way better games.
I never bought a sports game, a football sports game, until 2K on Dreamcast
right.
because it was so good.
Even their
So,
hockey game
yeah.
was dynamite. Like,
Yeah.
because EA had theirs and it wasn't that great. 989's hockey game was super good.
Yeah.
But until then, it was like, not 2K. Like,
Mhm.
2K was the hockey game.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man, oh, good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
And
It's
to,
just like-
to go back to Ridge Racer real quick too, that was even before that was like 95. So that was before even the internet,
yeah.
like
Wow.
mass market internet. We had like Prodigy bulletin boards, things like that. But you couldn't go online and be like, oh, what are some tricks of the PS1?
Yeah.
And then you have this PS1, and you start hearing these rumors that you could play music CDs while you play Ridge Racer.
Oh, that would have been
And
sweet.
we're like, wait, what's going on here? And sure enough, because the game was so small, the PS1 loaded the game into the RAM
wow.
and just played off the RAM.
Oh
Holy
my
cow.
gosh.
So, yeah,
I
you could take the game
remember
disc
my
out.
cousin telling
Yeah.
me that. He's like, I can play music
Yep.
while I play my game.
You could take the game disc out after it loaded, and then
Holy
put any music
cow.
CD in there and actually play
Yeah.
the music CD over the game. While
That
you,
is cool.
Wow,
Yeah. I
that-
still do that
That
sometimes.
came out of
It's-
like
yeah.
the darkest corners of my childhood just
There
now.
you go. Oh, reaching in there.
Yeah, like that.
But this is it was just so much fun because
Yeah.
you're just like, wait, what are you saying? Like, what is this? What's going on? And then all of a sudden the next month, like 6 months later, GamePro's writing about it in their magazine and
Yeah.
stuff like so it's just yeah.
I
It
want
was
to. I want to find out how do people figure out weird things like.
codes and
Well, this is like, hey, if you want to play this Japanese import, have a button hold this.
oh yeah,
and
have
a pin
like
hold
a pencil,
the thing
hold the
down.
button
Oh my
down,
gosh.
and then
And then
shut
pay
the lid,
attention.
open it, put the pencil back.
Well, yeah, I
whatever
don't
it
even think you
was.
had to do that. You just had to have a pin in.
It was
to
like,
hol-
the pencil trick with a PS1.
Yeah, it was. You had to pin into because there was like when you shut the top, there was a thing that went into this slot that said, "Oh, I'm closed." So you just put something in there to make sure it was closed because you had to look at the speed of the disc. When it was, it slowed down, swap to the Japanese one. Speeds up, slows down, swap back to the American one. Then swap back to the Japanese one when the logo pops up. And it's like, who figures this out?
Yeah.
But it was super awesome.
Well, like if you think back to when we were little playing games like freaking Super Mario World and we figure out all the tricks behind that and it's like we didn't
Yeah.
have like the guidebooks or the internet to like
no game
with-
facts,
yeah.
no IGN.
No,
I feel-
no
Reddits.
Reddits,
Yeah.
I feel a lot less good at games nowadays
yeah.
by comparison because back then, I mean, granted, there wasn't like 50,000 games coming out and I didn't have money to buy them all, so I wasn't playing them all, but you'd hone in on one game and you just figured out everything you could about it.
Right.
You knew all these little nuances and tricks and secrets. Like I was playing Kid Nicky the other day, oddly enough, and Sarah thought I was super lame, I'm sure, but I was like, man, I remember vividly. I rented the game from the place in Montague, and we're on our way back to the house, and we see like 40 deer in a field, and we stop and we look at them and stuff. And I remember this because that's also when like I rented Kid Nicky, and I got home and I got to this level. I was like, oh man, on this stump, if you do this thing where you hit this when this red ninja shows up, you go into a secret in the stump, and then you go fight these other things. It's like I don't even remember anything about anything else
Yeah.
about that game, but I still remember how to
Yeah.
do it to this day.
Oh, yeah.
It's so
Mhm.
weird.
It blows my mind, like the amount of information that we absorbed as kids and like the things that we figured out. And
Yeah.
I just, you don't get that kind of like intellectual
The playground rumors about
style.
Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were
Just-
so
I
many of
miss
those.
that.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
did you know if you do this, this will happen all the time? I was like,
No.
no. And
Yeah.
half of it was wrong, but it was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. It's fun for me just to think about that kind of stuff. Like,
Absolutely.
it's,
I wish out of all my, and I was thinking about this the other day, but out of all the stuff that I have, like a collection for, my PS1 collection stinks. Like, I wish I had a better one.
mine's pretty solid. I've got a lot of good stuff in there, but even you think back, like 95, like 1995, whatever. For me, it feels like yesterday, but that was like 30 years ago.
That was a long time ago.
Gosh.
I don't think it was 30 years
Not,
ago.
oh, well,
but-
the 90s. 90s was it next year or 2020?
I mean, 30 years ago
they
would
started,
be
the 90s
88.
started. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I see.
golly.
I
Oof.
see people come in with IDs now, like
Yeah.
they're all these 90s and
2000.
2000s kids,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, there'll be kids that come in and they'll tell me their birthday is like 2000, and I'm just like, they're just a baby, and like,
Yeah.
oh, they're 18.
They're 18.
Oh my gosh.
They're legal adults. Yeah.
How
I'll have
old am
these-
I? Oh my gosh, I need to check this.
I had these awkward kids come in about their yearbook, and just even looking at them, I was just like, were you like 10? Why do you have a
Yeah.
yearbook? Like, this is how we looked when we were 18? You serious?
I know. Like, I see all these, like, even like people that are in.
Look how
these-
fair their skin is.
Even kids in like their early 20s, I'm like, you look like you are.
Yeah.
You need to be home on curfew right now. What are you doing out this late?
Where are your parents
Yeah,
at?
exactly. They're like, I'm like 23. Like, oh.
I did that to this guy at the mall. It was when I was working for you, actually. And so he looked super young, and he was buying an M-rated game. I was like, oh, do you have an ID? Or, I mean, are your parents with you? And he goes, dude, I'm like 25. Like, he was older than me at the time. I was 19. I was like, oh.
Well,
That was awkward. It was awkward.
it's not worth my job to assume.
I did that to a girl at Grand Haven.
Oh, she should have felt good then.
Oh, yeah.
They never
'cause,
do,
like,
though.
Well, like, she came in my defense, she came in with her mom. Like,
Hey.
so, she wanted these M-rated games, and I looked at her mom. I was like, I need to make sure it's okay with you that she's getting these games.
Yeah.
And her mom just looks at me, and she's like, she's 20. I was like,
That's only 3
Oh.
years older than what you're supposed to be. That's not that much of
Yeah.
a difference.
Hey, you know what you should have done is you turn to the mom. You go, I'm going to have to ask your mother if it's okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Make the young girl feel bad and the mom just feel awesome.
Or call the mom the daughter, That's even
right,
better,
right.
So.
Well, that's what I was implying. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
God, okay.
I kind of played that game when I was a waitress back in the day.
Oh, you had to get some
Oh.
good tips.
Oh, heck yeah. Especially like when it's like a couple out. The trick is if there's, well, at least when you're a female and there's a couple out, you always focus on the female.
Yeah.
Don't put your attention on
Those
the
guys are
male at
stupid.
all.
Yeah.
So, because, well, like, it's weird. Female customers are weird. The moment you, like, even remotely try to make eye contact with the guy that they're at the table with,
Oh,
instant jealousy.
Yeah.
So you focus in on the female, and you
Yeah.
compliment them, make them feel good, because it's like, that's what you
Because the
want.
guy ain't doing
Like-
it.
Yeah.
Shoot, he brought her to Texas Roadhouse. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
like-
where I went last time.
All right, you want a Bud Light? What can I get for you, hon? Do I need to check your ID? I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Can
didn't-
get a
I
little weird every now
I
and
didn't
again.
get carded
but-
at Kirby last night. I felt really old. So.
Oh my gosh, I didn't get.
Was it because all the
carded.
hipsters were over there too? Like, yo, bro,
There was something-
I need
it
a
must have
slice
been-
of za.
It must have been like homecoming or something because they were just.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
These
there's a
high
lot of
school kids running
homecomings going
amok
on
inside
right
Kirby.
now.
Like, why are you guys going to Kirby? Like,
Yeah.
we're trendy. We're in high school going to Kirby.
This
Like,
is-
shut up. But yeah,
Where
I
did you
was-
go when you were in the
We went to.
homecoming and prom and stuff like
I
that?
didn't do any of that stuff.
Oh, okay.
No.
I went to McDonald's, man. Played the
think we went
ball
to-
pit. Screw this.
A couple of dances, I went stag and went back to my friend's house and watched Star Wars or something.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I was joking with Sarah, like, that guy didn't ID me. And she's like, well, yeah, why would he? I'm like, well,
You
I
got a
mean,
beard.
isn't he supposed to? Like,
Dude, if it makes you feel any better, I've never been ID'd for anything in my life. Like,
Really?
I went to R-rated movies well before I should have been allowed to. So it's as I joked with my my group the other day. I've always had tired dad, saggy eyes, and a beard. So, like, I was born with these bags under my eyes.
It was really weird because, like, being third shift, you get out at 7 o'clock, you know, like that's like the end of your day.
Yeah.
And so I went to Delight after work one day, and I looked at the girl that was the hostess / waitress, whatever, and I was just like, I'm gonna ask a really weird question. She's like, she like leans in like real concerned. She's like, what? I was like, is the bar open? I was like, I just got off work. Third shifter.
Honey, it's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Promise I'm not
It's
an
not
alcoholic.
open.
Like, she's like, oh yeah, it's open, no problem. Like, I'm like, all right, cool.
Nice.
Gosh, that's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, like it's the weirdest feeling, like especially
weird,
because
yeah.
like it's so weird going into like the smaller stores, grocery stores, like at 7 a.m. too, like Lepinks or, you know, Orchard Market or something, and people just look at you like you're an alcoholic. Like, no, this is the end of my day. This is like midnight for me to normal people.
Yeah. I used to do the third shift thing, and I always thought it was weird when people complained about third shift, because to me it was like, I'm at work when you're asleep, and I'm asleep when you're at work.
Yeah.
Like it was only weird. It's actually beneficial to me because when I was on third shift and I was hanging out with all the guys and stuff, they'd fall asleep and go, well, I guess I have everything to myself. I'm going to play this computer game and just put headphones on and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go to work. But I was going to say, everyone knows I've never drank in my life. And we're meeting up. We're doing dinner with a couple. We've known them for a while from like our church and stuff. And we're meeting up with them. My wife just texted me. They said, hey, are you guys cocktail people at all? Like, should we make you some drinks and stuff? I'm just like, no.
Just reply back. I'll have some chocolate milk.
Yeah, I was like,
chocolate milk on the rocks. Please.
Yeah. That's what I should have just been like, now look,
should.
if you, I just need a beautiful whole milk mixed with a beautiful blend of Hershey's syrup,
Or
stirred
just
but not
say
shaken.
chocolate milk neat, and that's
Yeah.
There you go.
Or what does Adam Sandler say in The Water Boy? I'll have a vodka and water.
vodka,
Hold
yeah.
the vodka.
Oh, number two la oblongata. Oh, back when Adam Sandler was cool. What a sad day.
Oh, he made a Hotel Transylvania movies though, and those are really good. I like them.
I guess there are 3 of them, so they must be all right.
I like the second one, or I don't know.
How
I like the first 2 a lot. I haven't seen the third one yet.
do you play all the video games too?
No.
Okay. So that's a definite yes. So you saw that.
Don't make me feel worse than I already do watching children's movies when my child isn't even home.
Oh,
Like-
you're talking to the guy who watches cartoons because he wants to. Like, I'm watching all those Rise of the TMNT. I let my son watch it with me. That's the difference.
Like
That's the privilege he gets.
I feel. Like, go from watching Criminal Minds on my Netflix account to I wonder what's new on the kids channel.
Oh man, new episodes of Curious George? You gotta be kidding me.
Bob the Builder. And, oh man, Thomas the Train.
Just so long as you're not watching Caillou.
Oh gosh, no.
Noah is. All my kids went through the Caillou phase. All of them had it, and then now.
Luna-
Why are you allowing it to happen?
And now Noah is really.
How?
Who?
Luna doesn't even know.
do we have to talk to your
what
wife?
Caillou
Oh,
is.
We'll fix that.
Did your wife let them watch this show? What happened?
I think because my nephews when they were little they watched it, and then but Bethany was like I think a year old at that point.
Oh my god.
But they somehow all stumbled into it. Because I think what happened was because Bethany
There's
fall
no
into heck
stumbling
right there.
into Caillou.
Bethany watched it as a little kid, and then when Benny was getting older, a year or 2 old, he'd watch Bethany watch it, and then he would watch it, and then it just.
You know how you fix that? You just say,
It's
"I'm sorry, honey,
not on
that
Netflix
show is
anymore.
broken."
It's evil.
Like, because there's a couple.
It's broken.
Yeah, that's what I tell Luna. Like, whenever she goes to a tear. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's hilarious that it
Caillou's in the
works.
hospital. He can't.
There's a couple of shows on Netflix she wants to watch that I'm just like, no, and they're just awful. shows, and she's just, Mommy, I want to watch that. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey, that show's not working right now. I'm really, can we watch
I had
something
to say
else?
that about. And I don't think Masha and the Bear is that bad.
No, it's terrible, Eddie.
But
don't even.
Goldie and Bear is good.
Is that different?
Different, yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So like Masha and the Bear, I think Masha's a horrible monster.
She
right?
is.
That's the whole point of the show. She's a wreck and she's a terrible kid. But my daughter loves it, so usually we let her watch an episode or whatever. But it was like to the point where it's like, okay, this is a problem. Like she is a problem. Not because it's because she is addicted to watching it, not necessarily that she's learning to be a horrible child. So we were just like, oh yeah, I don't know. That Masha and the Bear is just like, it won't load. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So
it
we
was
definitely
canceled.
Yeah.
It's like there's this really weird like silent show that's like got some weird elf gnomey guy.
No, get off of that show. You're gonna die.
Yeah. She wanted to watch that all the time, and I was like, sorry, honey, that one's not working anymore. Or I would just straight up be like, no, we're not watching it. Mommy doesn't want to watch that show.
You ever
It's
hear
terrible.
of Elf on the Shelf? Well, this one's your doom.
Yeah. Like, what is it with these shows?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff on there.
Weird.
Parent tip number 147: don't let your kids use your Netflix account. Because I made that mistake once. I didn't change the account over to the kids' account, and they used my account. And for the next 6 months, my whole like recommended for Mark, it was like.
Yeah. Mine's destroyed.
Caillou and like Berenstein Bears and like Goldie and Bear and
Berenstein Bears?
all these kids shows. I couldn't get rid of them.
Yeah. Mine's
Like, oh my gosh.
Mine kind of looks like that. It's like, oh, you want to watch what's on there? It keeps popping up. My Little Pony.
Oh yeah.
True. That's a cute show. She likes that one a lot with Bartleby the little kitty.
What's that one? There's like a Detective Bears one. What's that?
Oh yeah, she watches that one. That one's pretty cute
all right.
because they like, you know, they kind of solve a problem like in creative
And it's not as
ways.
bad as Oso. Because
I haven't seen that one.
so special. Doo-doo-doo. And it's like it's Rudy or Raph or what's his real name? Samwise Gamgee's. He plays the bear, which was always distracting to me. We gotta go find the thing. Let's go do it. What did we do?
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure somebody that looked through my Netflix account would probably think I'm a deranged psychopath going from like My Little Pony to Criminal Minds and Forensic Files.
One leads to the other, all right? It makes sense.
Yeah, and then
They go
there's
hand
like
in hand.
all the horror movies on there.
Oh, boy.
Like, there is something wrong with her. Did somebody look in her basement for children's bodies? I don't know.
Well, based on what you were speaking about earlier, there's probably at least 10 dead kids somewhere in your house, right?
Probably from the horrendous babysitter experience. Ugh.
Oh, boy.
No, I never want to hire
You just
got to
find the Babysitter's Club, and you'll find all the good ones.
Yeah.
Right? That's a...
Well.
I don't know what those books are
a
about.
book series, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Read
That's-
those. And, well, problem's going to be solved real quick once I get my security cameras in
And
my
your
house.
shotgun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the shotgun.
Well, and it was great having you back.
Yeah.
So thanks for
having
popping
me.
over.
Yeah. Always a
right.
blast, especially having Mark back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look at you.
So you might have to drop by next week too. So
Are you gonna be gone?
I won't be here.
Oh.
No.
Brandon will
Where
have
you
to put
headed?
up with me.
My Benny's having surgery early Monday morning.
Ooh,
so
great.
nothing, just tonsils.
Oh.
You could
So,
eat
but
ice cream
still,
all
it's
day,
you know, Sarah's got, you know, there's this,
Oh, absolutely.
there's always that underlying level of concern
Mhm.
as a parent that you have.
Oh, yeah.
But it's pretty early, and we're going to be prepping Sunday night and just kind of hanging out with them, things like that.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, by all means.
No, that'd be a blast.
Party Central. Now you'll get to hang out with the B-Man next week. He'll be back.
He can throw me some shady eyes like, you bailed on me.
You'll have to switch seats, though. You'll have to take Mark's spot.
That's
so,
all right.
you know.
Mark plays with his mic enough that my adjusting
I
it
shift
won't-
around a lot, so I'm a big guy.
He's always just scooting around.
Massive.
He's grabbing his microphone, funneling
Playing
that
with
thing.
something.
Yeah, you do fiddle a lot.
I do.
See, I do as well,
I
but
feel
I'm hiding it with like other stuff.
Yeah, I
Like,
play with my
I get
ring.
the keyboard, so that helps. You know, hitting the keyboard helps me not. You know, that keeps one hand busy. But, the other
we
one's
all
behind her.
we all have our quirks. So.
Yeah.
Some more than others.
Right. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that. I was about to, yeah, I can't. I have all these like OCD fidget things I have to do with my shoulder. And now I'm paying attention to it. I can't stop, and it hurts. Anyway, that's the show, everybody. It's super fun times. Thanks again to Ann for popping back over.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks always to Mark for being here and having all these crazy, fun, knowledgeable stories. You always have so much insight on the past and crazy things.
Oh, I like to live in the past a lot of the time. So
it's so awesome, though. He's gonna take you back to the.
I'm a very nostalgic person.
Yeah.
So
Besides,
you have like a lot of like knowledge on weird, like crazy insight on a lot of stuff.
Worthless. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff up here that's not worth anything. But
any wrestling stories you need to share that just popped up randomly in your head?
Not well. Not right now. No.
Okay. We'll save it for next week.
Besides, like the Ghostbusters quoting throughout shifts was always the entertaining stories.
You know, I quoted Ghostbusters the other day, and my wife didn't get it, and I was sad because it was like I got the kids to bed like super like right on time, and they went down super easy, and she goes, "How is everyone doing?" I was like, "The flowers are still standing." And she's like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Wait. I've always wanted to do this. And the flowers are still standing.
What a good movie.
Luna loves to watch those. Mom, I watched Ghostbusters. I'm like,
that's a scare.
Mark would be so proud of me right now. No, I started her off early enough. She loves watching Ghostbusters, loves watching Jurassic Park. Yeah. She's not scared of them. Terrified of a fly, but she will watch mechanical dinosaurs and fake ghosts on TV all day long.
I watched that movie as a kid, obviously, over and over and over and over.
Oh yeah, so did I.
I mean, but when you're a kid, you don't really pick up on a lot of those.
Yeah.
In the first movie especially.
Mm-hmm.
And now my kids are watching it, and there's like certain parts of that film, even though it's rated PG back in '84, that movie now would probably be at least PG-13.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's a few scenes you're like,
even like rated R.
You shouldn't be watching this, you know.
I think he's talking about banging Dana right here.
Do you want this body? Like, no, don't listen to that. And there's all these just little jokes that, you know, as a kid, you're not going to pick up on it.
Oh, yeah.
They're oblivious to it, but it's like, am I a good parent or not?
I want to watch, because I've let Lucas watch some of the Ninja Turtle cartoon stuff, and I want to watch the original movie. I was like, well, I don't know if I can watch this one with him, but man, I went back and I watched some YouTube clips. I was like, oh, it's so good.
You could probably handle that.
I know. Well, Sarah gets mad.
Well, yeah. There's a few parts that might be a little scary, but
a little bit.
Yeah, Chris has kind of gotten on my, like, he hasn't gotten on my case about it, but he's just like, you know, like, Luna's been saying something about monsters and stuff, because she'll be really silly, and she'll be like, Mom, the monster. I'll be like, where is it? She'll be like, it's hiding. And then she'll go, I ate the monster. And I'm like, good job. I was like,
way to be.
You saving mommy from the monsters? Like, yeah, I saved mommy from the monsters. So I'm like trying to like kind of be like, you know, you're brave sort of a thing. Yeah. But I guess like it gets a little weird at his house. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you if it's weird at your house.
My daughter's talking about these ghosts, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
how come kids only see ghosts and ghosts here the whole time? Then he turns Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Well, Noah has that
That's
thing now.
Inside joke.
Noah has that thing now too, or not to get on the parent stuff, but
I'm never gonna wrap this podcast up.
This is the last thing I promise. But I just thought of it, the ghost thing. But the last like month or so, like almost every night, he'll say, "Hey, mommy or daddy, like, will the person who stares at me during the night come back?"
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and we're like, what the F are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, the person that stares at me at night while I'm sleeping. I'm like, dude, like, what are you talking about? So, and I know it's just he probably Benny said, or maybe something he saw on a show or something like that, you know. But some nights when I go in there after, you know, he's long asleep to go check on him, I'll walk in his room and be like, I'll look around like, you know,
where's that clown that's just hanging out here?
Yeah.
But he doesn't say it like he's not frightened or anything. He's just like, he's like the person that stares at me, you know, and. Okay.
Like the other day, Luna got all her sidewalk chalk out and like stuffed it in the dog's kennel, and I was like, what are you doing? Don't put chalk in the dog's kennel. And I guess when she went to stay with Christopher overnight, he was like, oh, I was telling her, you know, you can't be putting chalk in the puppy's kennel, like that's not what you do. And she's like, oh, I was feeding the monster in her kennel. And I was like,
oh, okay.
What is going on?
See, my kids, when they take the sidewalk chalk, they draw Satan, and they start dancing around. And I'm just like,
that's probably
nothing,
nothing,
right?
No,
It's probably
no.
nothing.
That's normal children behavior.
They're performing alchemy, I think. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Elise, is that a pentagram you just drew?
It's a special star.
Yeah. My son just gets up and is like, Daddy, do you see this thing? And then a portal to hell opened up. It was really weird.
I just let the Cyber Demon out of the hole. Anyway, okay.
Oh.
All right, well, hey, final thank you goes to everyone else. So thank you so much for checking us out, telling your friends. And thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And we'll see you on the next level.
Yep.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.